Alrighty, Friday, June 7th. Taking a look at NQ here for a session recap following NFP. We do have a session that was less than a 1 ATR move. So all things considered, pretty quiet session. I personally was definitely expecting more volatility out of today. We did get some good two-way trading, as you could tell by the intraday chart, but broadly speaking, this is just a wide intraday range. Definitely a tradable range, but just sideways for the most part, right? Coming into the sesh, what we wanted to see ahead of NFP as well is essentially how price would be trading versus that prior all-time high. 19,025 is the level. You can see that level of interest right through there. That's been a significant level for the past couple of days. Definitely was a significant level on Thursday, May 23rd, when that high was made. So generally speaking, whenever you have an all-time high like that and price is trading near that all-time high, it can serve as a really strong level to watch for structural developments against and even potentially set risk against if you actually have a setup that develops. So Wednesday, we do get the trend day move, fresh all-time highs. Thursday, expecting that compression day. Friday, today, expecting bit more of a move, but we just have continued compression, essentially, is what I would classify this as. We do have a look above that prior day high, right through here, as well as a look below that prior day low, but price essentially just kind of finds value right through here, right through this area where you could see this high volume node building out. So coming into the sesh, like I said, looking at that 19,025 level, and if we actually take a look at the intraday action, what you'll see is that level offered us some pretty good opportunities throughout the morning, right? All through here, and then the retest. This is probably one of the easier trades for the session, and then even later on into the afternoon, you see that level being tested. I believe the value area low for the session was right down here. So you see that zone being tested, session low being tested, again, continuing that intraday range theme. Now, as far as what we'll be looking at for Monday, pretty much just keeping with the same approach. Want to continue to see how price trades versus that prior all-time high level. I'm still looking at the fib retracements from Wednesday's move, so we could see that the 50% has been tested as of this morning. That was that post NFP move. Again, if we take a look at the intraday, the news move right through here, here's that 50% level. That's also our downside 18,930 level of interest. So price gets within 10 points. To me, that's close enough, right? We like to see that true test, but that's going to be close enough for the most part. And buyers are pretty responsive through there, and then you get the push back into where at that NFP high, right? So Monday, we want to see how price continues to trade versus that prior all-time high. It's essentially Thursday's low, right? And then I'll also be taking a look at how price continues to respond versus some of these downside retracement levels. As of right now, continuing to expect price just to trade within this range, right? I wouldn't be surprised to see a Monday session within this range, potentially a Tuesday session within this range as well, maybe with some look above or some look below, but continued range trading into Wednesday's FOMC, where we should expect, obviously, some outsized move. So that's kind of the look ahead as far as what I'm expecting for Monday, but then into the early portion of next week as well. And I'll dive more into that with the weekly kickoff newsletter on Sunday. So that's NQ. 19,025 remains that main level on watch. And again, that was the prior all-time high. We see that level being respected incredibly well for the past two sessions. Let's jump over to ES. So ES, very similarly, the action today, testing that 50% fib retracement from Wednesday session, right? Now, the main watch here was whether price could show any acceptance above that prior all-time high, like what we see in NQ. Flipping back to NQ, what we have here is price actually showing acceptance above that prior high, right? Generally speaking, that's going to be considered a bullish development. ES really struggling to do that, just kind of oscillating here near that prior all-time high. Here's that prior all-time high right through here, 53.68. Not really showing that sustained move above that level, right? You got a very similarly to NQ, you have a look above Thursday's session following that look below, but broadly speaking, just continuing within the range. Let me see, what was the move today? 56 points. So ES actually did give that full ATR move. So definitely more action here in ES versus NQ. And we had kind of noted that and talked about that this morning when we saw ES actually trending higher while NQ was stuck in that very, very tight range. Now look at what happened once NQ actually started to participate. ES goes pretty much parabolic before that pullback to VWAP. Easiest trade in ES today right through there, by the way. And so outside of that, you just have pretty much that intraday range, right? This is not a trend day or anything like that. This is just a wide tradable range for ES. So Monday, similar approach. Want to see how price continues to trade versus that 53.68 level. That prior all-time high continues to be significant. And then just looking at this structure and treating the structure like a near-term range. The approach for Monday, Tuesday, going to be the same as I mentioned in NQ. Here's your range essentially, right? Expecting Monday, the entirety of Monday's session in here. Tuesday, maybe some type of look above, look below, and then Wednesday we'll get the real move with FOMC. So that's what I'm looking at for early next week, specifically Monday, 53.68. That prior all-time high remains the significant level here. Hope everyone had a good session, profitable week. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM this weekend. I'll get back to you with any questions that you may have. That could be trade review, questions about particular setups that you may or may not have taken or that you saw me post. Feel free to reach out. If you're having a hard time, I'm always happy to help. Otherwise, I'll see you Monday morning. Have a great weekend.